Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of April 28th, and we're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by the Comic Book Store, 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, 08028. Come buy some comics. Come buy some, apparently a V for Vendetta mask? Question mark? I don't know why, but like, hey, it's here. Grab one.
Hey guys, it's Tim from Ashen Phoenix and Comic Book Store and Capes and Scowls and all those happy places. And here's a mask with a book. Isn't that fun? Gonna do the trades now. We've got V for Vendetta, or for you young kids, that Mr. Robot mask. Doesn't that make you just ill?
that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know somebody out there's gonna. Well, you can put Mr. Robot in the tags if that does anything for you.
There you go.
We got Champions. This is a re-release of some of the earlier Champions issues from 2016. I've got the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics in two formats, hardcover and softcover. We've got a new Reckless book. This is Friend of the Devil. This is that new ongoing graphic novel series from Brubaker and Sean Phillips. We got Redneck, which is up to volume 5. It's Donny Cates. We got Deceased Dead Planet coming out in hardcover before it gets its softcover treatment. We got The Vein. It's about vampires. We got Gideon Falls, volume 6. It's probably the end because it's titled The End. Clever. We got Commanders in Crisis, Volume 1. I should check this out because they're going to get a Danhausen variant, and that excites me very much. We've got Epic Collection for Wolverine, Madripoor Knights. If you watched Falcon Winter Soldier and you're like, Madripoor, I heard about that. Here's a bunch of Madripoor you could see. Doesn't have any of those characters in it, but you could read it. And finally, we're ending with Usagi Yojimbo, which is just always a good idea to read Usagi Yojimbo. And that's that. All right, and we also have the previews, new previews out today, and I'm not even going to flip through the Marvel one because what I want is on the cover, Jed MacKay, who is awesome, doing some Moon Knight. I mean, does it get any better than this? Look at that cover. So good. I'm going to order like 1,000 of them. I'm so excited. Do you need 1,000 of them? No, I do not. And then we got the big old catalog here with some He-Man on the back. What? That's fantastic. Anyways, this is the backside. Paul, say stop.
Stop.
It's always Vampirella. You're so good at stopping at Vampirella. Check out Vampirella, everybody. Paul says Vampirella. It needs to be a t-shirt.
Why does it, like...
You always say it at the same time. I always go at the same speed. You love Vampirella. Moon Knight, everybody.
First up, we have RWBY and Justice League issue number 1. This was a cute book. Basically, this is an Elseworld tale from RWBY, where they are meeting the Justice League. And the Justice League is not our Justice League. It is a Justice League that lives within the world of Vale and the Remnant. So Clark's, at least in this issue, Clark and Diana's powers are semblances. So they are explainable within the realm of this mythos kind of thing. So it's not Superman, it's not Wonder Woman kind of thing, but it is basically those characters as stand-ins for the book. We have different Grims that are kind of coming out and causing different problems for the world of Vale, and it's a very mysterious place. It's a fun book. If you like RWBY, if you liked how the DC RWBY books have been done, then you'll like this. If you don't, this is a fairly niche, or niche, whichever word you fall into, kind of issue. So, like, this is not going to have a real world appeal to everybody. But if you like RWBY, if you're looking for something different from the Justice League, grab it.
All right, first up we have Robin, issue number 1. I wanted to read this because I just kind of wanted something a little different, but at the same time, I'm not a huge Damian Wayne fan. I'm always a Tim Drake Robin kind of guy, but this was a pretty good book. Basically, Damian is going off the grid. He's trying to find a specific fighting tournament, so it has a Street Fighter-y kind of feel to it. And he is plagued by Dead Alfred, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. But ultimately, it is him trying to locate this tournament. He's trying to fight his way in. He's gone off the grid, which is terrifying Batman and everybody else. No one can find him, so he's successful at it. But then he finds this tournament, which is quite terrifying and scary. It's pretty good. I was actually impressed with it. But yeah, I don't know. Damien's just never been my Robin. But I think if he is your Robin, this is a good story, so check it out.
Next up, we have Shadecraft issue number 2. I raved over Shadecraft issue number 1. This is a fun book. It's a lot less action than the first one, because the first one was a lot of like crazy in-your-face kind of stuff, and this is kind of that fallout of what is going on between Zadie and Ricky. You do learn a little bit more about where Ricky's been and all that stuff, and you meet new characters as you try to unravel why the Shadows are attacking everybody, or specifically Zadie. It's a fun read. Really not a lot I can say about it. I mean, if I say anything more, then it's going to spoil some of the things that are going on in the book. But it's just fun. The interactions between Zadie and her brother are really heartwarming and fun, since he is a shadow, and he's basically her shadow. And what do shadows do? They make really stupid shadow puppets and just make people laugh. So it's funny with her trying to play the straight man, where it's like she's trying to kind of get through this, and he's like, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make her laugh. And then shadows attack. It's that kind of book. But it was a fun read. You should grab it.
Next up, we have BRZRKR. No vowels needed. Issue number 2. This story is your origin story of how he became a weapon of the gods, and it is pretty interesting. The whole issue is his origin, and I was wondering if it was going to be as violent as the first issue, and in some ways it is just as awful to look at, the extreme violence of this book. But you get the origin of him. I won't really spoil that for you, but has him as a young teenager, learning to fight, learning to control, basically being pointed like a weapon, with his rage issues, I guess you could say. And they will explain why it's so bad, why he can't control it. There's a lot going on here. It's not just, I get angry and I can't die, because that's dumb. This is more than that. Good job, everybody.
Next up, we have Department of Truth, issue number 8, now with more Simonson. As I was saying before, the last 2 books, I love this series very, very much. The last 2 issues have kind of thrown me because they have a very, very different art style. However, it's back. So if you loved the original art style, it's back, and we pick up with the main story with Cole going and meeting new characters within the department as they try to unravel why the Star Demon is after them, and how Black Hat is able to do more of what the department is trying to work against, but with far less imagination and far less world thought processes that would be able to conjure up these imaginations and conjure up these conspiracy theories and make them real. And it's a very, Department of Truth has always been that fun, interesting story. And we just pick up with more of it. So grab it.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. Paul, what's my pick of the week?
I don't know. You never tell me.
I don't. And I always ask you. It's weird.
It is weird. It's like you want to hold something over me, and I don't know why.
I'm a mean individual. But you should know what it is. It is Beta Ray Bill, issue number 2. This, all my books are pretty good, but there's no way you can beat this book because it references so many things I love. There is an Okada Rainmaker in this, you wrestling fans. There's an AEW reference. There's even a Murder Falcon reference. I love the tiny details that go into this. I love Daniel Warren Johnson, your favorite guy, Daniel Warren Ellis. I love his extreme tiny little details, especially when he zooms out of something. Like there's a part where it shows his ship and it shows all the different rooms, and that's where a lot of Easter eggs are. But the details are just bonkers, so they're very good. Essentially, Bill is unable to become his true form without Stormbreaker, which has been destroyed, and he is trying to find Odin so he can go on a quest to get him to build a new one, that kind of a thing. Odin is kind of like, yeah, I can't do that, but you could try this, and he goes on a different quest. Really funny stuff. You get Scourge, who returns and is his wingman. He wants to be his wingman to help him get his mojo back, which is really silly. and they promptly get into a bar fight. There's a lot that happens. I love it. There was a Rainmaker. I popped real big for it, so if you enjoy everything I enjoy, you should love this, because I loved it. Beta Ray Bill is the best. And Pip the Troll shows up.
And my pick of the week is E-ratic, issue number 5 of 5. And I will say, there's more coming. This is only volume 1. And this really makes me happy, because this has been one of my absolute favorite titles to come out. Tim was just like, you should read this. And I was just like, I don't care. And then I picked it up and I started reading it. I'm like, oh my God, Tim, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I mean, I didn't say it like that, but like...
No, it was just like that.
It wasn't.
There was more groveling.
It wasn't.
It happened. I remember.
E-ratic is trying to unravel all the things that are going on with the evil principal trying to take over everything with communism. And I love him as a character. He's just a fun guy. And all the while he's trying to basically finish off this plot line. I don't really want to get too terribly much into it, because it's the last issue of the story, so there's so much things that get put back together in this. But it's not going to go where you think it's going to go, and it's a fun story. I can't wait for more from this series. It was much like Once in Future, where I love that book so very much, and then they're like, hey, by the way, we're giving you more. And I was like, I didn't know I needed more, and I want more. So you're going to get more of this. Definitely, if you haven't picked them up, there's only 5 issues. It shouldn't be too terribly hard to find, but I mean, obviously, a trade's going to be coming out very soon. So grab it if you haven't. This is a really fun read.
All right, that is it. Thank you, everybody, for getting to the end. Paul thanks you from the bottom of his heart.
I do.
That's where most of the feeling is located, at the bottom. If you didn't know that, it's a scientific fact.
Where the blood pools.
It pools there, and it kind of just drips down. It's a weird thing. It's weird. It's like a drip. That's why when you get an IV, I'm really stretching it now.
It's like, what?
It dawned on me that this nonsense, no matter how crisp I keep going with it, is quite stupid.
I was curious where you were going.
Yeah, no, it sounded like I had a plan. I didn't.
It did, and then it went off the rails.
Yeah, I drove it off the cliff. That's it. Thanks, guys. The rate and review on Apple Podcasts would help me. The subscribing and the bell notification stuff would help here, Team Ashen, on the YouTubes.
But keep commenting. I like that you guys are commenting and talking to us. And
I love banter. Yeah, tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me I'm an idiot, if it's applicable. That's about it, guys. Just, enjoy the books. Enjoy grabbing your books today or whatever day you get out there. All right, bye. Happy ending.